Send. All right. Well, hi everyone. My name is Sofia Gonzalez. I'm a principal designer at Microsoft in the headquarters in Redmond. I'm in Seattle area, and the talk I gave was design value in the age of intelligence. So, what does that really mean? Really, let's start with the question that gives us most like leaders up at night. If how will designers create value when AI does execution? That's like the question that we're gonna answer today, and that's what I created for the keynote in DDX. And I want to leave you not with fear, but with a roadmap. And so, screen. So designers really sit at the intersection of technology, business, and humanity. This is where design is. We're translators between the three worlds. Engineers speak in systems, business speak in dollars, and the user speak in needs. The designers, we speak all three languages, and we must, right? And that's what makes design leadership in the era not just relevant, but critical. And next slide. So just like going briefly through what I talked about, is I gave a little context or help context why we should not lead with fear, but to be honest, this is like the main ingredient. It's like we have to start doing business alignment. So before we would always say like, oh, it's what the user needs, the users need this, the users want this, the users have description, let's empathize with the user, and really empathy is not gonna be the right way anymore. It is, we still have to do that. I'm not saying let's throw it out, but it's yes and. Now we have to say there's sympathy, there's this need, but also here's an ROI. If we empathize with this piece, how will the business also create the revenue and there's a return of investment, right? So now we have to start speaking in the terms of the language of the business. So we need to talk about revenue, cost, conversion, and retention. So your designs must follow through one of these at the end of the day. You have to measure what matters. The task completion, time to value, support deflection, and turn reduction. So when you're designing and thinking like what to build next, what problems to solve, really start thinking about this, it fits in one of these categories. If it's going like through faster task completion, so that means like there's more satisfaction from the user, time to value as well. So since it's creating value to the user, that means it will be returning customers. Supporting the deflection, and then also the churn reduction. Like, are you keeping more users as well? So it's like, how are your design problems, the solutions you're coming up with, going through these main buckets? And like that, you're making sure that you're speaking the business side as well. Not only the empathy and the user need side, but also how are the problems really going through this? So quality at the end of the day drives growth. So that's something that we know. And so something that really have seen in the industry that we're doing a lot, and at least in Microsoft and in my organization, is that we're using AI but smartly and intelligently. The AI sandwich or the human in the loop. So first, humans really start thinking about like what's the problem we need to solve? What is the strategic piece? What is the vision? What is those constraints? And then we give it to the AI. To be honest, like once I have a problem, for example, I need to start thinking about how the agent will create tasks. I go to the AI, but once I have to find the problem and treat it like an intern, right? Like I did all the ambiguity for you, now go execute. But then once it executes, sometimes AI is not completely right and you have to do modifications, right? So then that's when the human comes in again. And that's when you do curation and quality and you polish. So really the AI needs your brain for the strategic piece, and then it can execute and you can be faster and provide value faster. But really your curation and the human taste is really what matters at the end of the day. Like it's not what the AI executes, it's like how you like now polish the AI. The next, building trust is, and really we need this framework as well. When you're starting to design for AI, start first with agency. Initiate without permission. That's something I do often. I'm proactive at work. I just start looking at problems that others have not found. Then I start seeing the patterns as well. We'll have to solve this one day or later. So it starts with agency. Don't ask for permission, just do it. Just focus on the things that you're looking at and just start doing. And then judgment. So know when something is good enough and when it's not. Sometimes I can spend like 10 minutes on a prototype and like, yeah, looks great. Another times it's 3 days. So like you have to know when good is good enough and use your judgment as well when you're synthesizing and using the AI when you're creating a spec or when you're creating a brief, you have to really use your judgment and not just let AI do it for you. And thirdly, persuasion. So you also have to convince others that it works. This is how you can bring AI into your workforce faster. So through agency, using it as asking without asking permission, judgment, knowing when it's good, and then persuasion, convincing, hey, this is the ROI. Like because I use this, it really limited the amount of hours I was doing, or engineers were able to work faster. For example, right now I'm doing VS Code with Cloud Code, and the engineers are just grabbing all the CSS and HTML, but the great thing is that now I can test it. Meanwhile, engineers are grabbing exactly the PR that I published, and we're working faster. And the goal is for me to be actually working on the production, live production, instead of the engineers in the front end. So those little changes we were able to do because my steep level said, let's just do it. Let's not ask for permissions. They don't want to give us production code, let's just create one and see the value, and now that they're looking at the value, it's like, oh, this is the next phase. So you see, you have to really go through proactiveness, make the judgment, which AI tool, when and how to use it, and then start persuasion. So another thing that I've noticed is that we're going from collaboration to zero, right? So this is something that with the AI, it's not that yes, you're collaborating with the AI, but really you're directing the AI. You're being the art director to the AI. So that's the other thing you have to like switch the conversation. Like you're not, because sometimes I do it. I'm like, hey, what if we? And I'm like, no, it's not a we. It's my work. I should just tell the AI, do this, right? And so that's the other thing. Like just start giving direction to the AI. Just feel like the art director, like the product owner. And that like that you're gonna start seeing like the huge wins on it as well. The other thing is that what we've been seeing in the industry, this is also something I talked about, is that we're noticing that there's less middle managers. Everything's gotten flatter, faster, and the expectation is that you're a founder mode. Someone from Anthropic was telling me that they just hire CEOs mostly from small startups because that means that you know how to end the end-to-end of a product strategy really goes through, and then you can do all types of hats. And that's what enterprises are looking for now. It's not that we just stay in our lane, either visual, content, design, or whatever research says. Like you have to be in everybody's lane. You have to start thinking as an engineer as well, as a product as well. PM as well, and as everything, because that will make you take ownership and accountability of your product. And that's what we're noticing, that's the trend. That's why they're cutting middle managers and becoming more ICs, individual contributors. So you can do actual involvement of what's executing in the product, and you feel ownership about it as well. And like that, we're doing faster and more return on investment. So something that I was telling the DDX as well is that what I have read from Jacob Nielsen was that in 5 years there will be super intelligence. So what if AI starts doing everything for us? What if it just reads a computer and we just can go for a walk or something, you know? So the truth, you have to get into the AI today, like now. And I feel like this past 2 months or in the industry since I left Dubai for the TDX, I've seen a huge shift. There's much more involvement in cloud code. There's much more involvement from designers in Cursor, Vercel, all of these other apps. And so this is just great to see more people doing like Figma plugins. And it's just really, you have to start today or yesterday applying AI to your workflow, because when super intelligence comes here, you have to also have done things to automate your process. And like that, like I see it in my team, my team members, designers are actually creating agents that can have accessibility guidelines and just fix this or design. Like I don't have to do accessibility anymore. There's an agent that does it for me. And like if I broke something, it's so imagine just like automating the workflow. That's super intelligence, and that's you're really getting into the tech of like where the industry's going. And so I would say move now, start looking at the AI, align design with the business outcomes. So speaking the investments and the return of investments, translate creativity into measurable impact is something I also talked about a lot, which is start talking how you're creating more value with using the AI, and then just like art direct the AI, right? And see how like the impact can be faster. And then build trust through the agency judgment and persuasion. So really go through the tool you choose that is best for your workflow. Just do it practically and see how you're acting faster, what's of the terms of the acquisition, retention. How are you going through those buckets through this and just persuade the people in your product and in your team. And so something I've learned at Microsoft recently is that intent-outcomes interface, we're not designing interfaces anymore. Like right now, literally, I cannot design interfaces with the agents. I'm just more teaching it the scenarios and the use cases versus the interface, because it will output whatever it wants. And then clarity beats complexity as well. So remember, always simplify, and agents will like do complex things, so you have to know simplify again, simplify to 5 steps. And then empathy requires systems. So have a system that really helps you go through the empathy, and then bring that empathy into the measurable impact. If not, like they will get anywhere. And so the age of intelligence for me is now. I'm doing faster. Right now, I'm actually like excited to maybe like start a startup or something on the side, because I feel the technology is there that I can do it. I don't need an engineer anymore, and that's my so yeah, just don't wait. Start using AI. There's plenty of tools from agent builders that can help you, to the Lovable, to Cloud Code, to the Co-work, to all the workflows even of AI. Measure what matters. Remember that without measurement and without impact, it's not going to go anywhere. And then build for them 3 years ahead. That's what I do. I don't visualize when I'm designing. I don't execute for the now. I execute for in 3 years. And if the technology is there, then I ask, how can we make the technology there? And so like that, you're always ahead. And I was doing forward thinking. And now I'm out of time. I did it in 12 minutes. But thank you so much.
That's okay. Thank you, Anna. So one thing I forgot to say, we will have time for one question, whoever gets their hand up first. One question. Or at the very end, we'll maybe do all the speakers up on stage as well, besides the one question. Any quick question for Anna? Should we keep going? Okay. Thank you, Anna. If you have to run off, we'll connect people with you on LinkedIn. Thank you so much.